What's going on, guys? This is the one-man army, Mr. Easy for Life, and today I'm giving you guys another Blade and Soul content video for you. I'm running the Spider's Queen dungeon, one of the big 4 dungeons that has been introduced into Blade and Soul, and this is some beta footage, as you can see here. I think they call this actually the Skeltering Tunnels, if I'm not mistaken. I usually just call it Spider's Queen Nest or something like that, is what it's known in the JP server through the English patch. And around about this time, this was the time that I was about level 44 and a half, trying to get to 45, and this was part of the first weekend, of course, of grinding, trying to get to 45. So I was a bit tired when I did run this. So we were doing some big pulls and all of that, and just overall, I think this was my second time running this dungeon, because I believe the first time that I actually ran this dungeon, the weapon that I needed in order for a breakthrough to happen for my weapon actually dropped on the first run, which is pretty freaking lucky, I'm not gonna lie. When your weapon drops off for you on the first run, you better go ahead and get your weapon right there on the first run if it does drop for you. And luckily, once again, I was the only destroyer in this group, so that made it even more better, so that I didn't have to fight for it. Usually when it comes to me with another destroyer trying to fight for the same weapon, I usually end up going broke, because the other dude usually tends to want that weapon more than I do, or I usually just give up and then he gives me all his money, whatever. Either way, I got really lucky on the first run. The only destroyer here got my weapon on the first try, and overall it was a pretty good time. So as before, I showed off the Lynn Spirit Ruins, and today we got Spider's Queen's Nest. I might do the other dungeons as well, the other big 4 dungeons, because why not? So yeah, so as you can see here, running over to the first ever boss dungeon, the first boss that you encounter in this dungeon. I believe there's 2 mini bosses, which are just two big spiders before you head over to Spider's Queen. Executing that choke move as well as the stomp move, and got that typhoon and rage, as well as the pulverize implemented right there. I had to run away just a little bit there because I was a little bit nervous and I was dying, as you can see right there. I had to get a little bit creative, and I actually got back on track with my choke move right over here, as you can see. There you go. Got the choke move executed, and with that choke move, or the grapple move, with the mechanics, I pretty much block all frontal attacks. So the 2 other AoE spiders that dropped down, they weren't able to attack me. I was blocking it while I had the boss and the choke move. So that was pretty good right there. Survived that. And as you can see, I'm dropping out on all these freaking auctions that you're gonna be seeing. Like I said, that's just basically because I got what I needed to get to when it comes to this dungeon, which was the weapon. So that was nice. And the other reason why that I was running it again was for the sake of my guild not the guild, but the people that I was matchmaked with for this party session or whatever. I actually used the cross-server dungeoning matchmaking service thing that they got, feature that they got here, and I actually never used that before. On the JP server, nobody was freaking using that feature, so I was always used to finding people through the Dragon Pillar, and yeah, through the Dragon Pillar, and just like overall finding in-game or in-server, same server groups, stuff like that. So this was actually the first time that I was actually using the matchmaking service, and it was actually really good. It was super successful. So I'm gonna start implementing using that even more, since the fact that there isn't much content going on, and I do believe the cross-server dungeoning feature is going to be used a lot. Just as of right now, I don't know how it's going to be on launch, but as of right now, for the big 4 that's only out. Oh wow, I actually didn't realize how close I was to dying on this run, on the second boss. But as the big 4 is pretty much the only dungeons that are open, I believe the cross-server dungeoning is going to be your best bet. I found this group literally within like 30 seconds of just waiting in the queue time. I don't know, maybe I just got lucky. But either way, here we are on the second boss. You can see, for me, it was a close call. It was actually a close call for a few other people, but for me especially, well, actually, someone actually died. Number 3 died on this one, so that kind of sucks. But as you can see, if it wasn't for this choke move right here, I probably would have never gotten the ability to survive, because, like I said, through that grapple move, you get a little bit of defense as well. Executing the, oh wow, look at that, number 6 actually died too. Executing the Typhoon as well as Pulverize right there, we were able to take him out. He's just in here just a second right here. As you can see, it was a close call right here. and we were able to take him out either way right before he was actually about to do another ult move from the right side. So able to take him out as well, and we're just gonna go ahead and revive our friends as well as get this auction going. Just dropping out of the auctions here and there, letting my teammates take whatever they can, because you know I was so, like I said, you know, got the weapon. I actually even got the skin. There was a weapon skin that actually dropped, and I do believe I actually got that on the 3rd run, because I ran this about 3 times. This is my 2nd time running it. Decided to put the 2nd run in just because it was the most successful run. The 1st run we did, we actually wiped a little bit. In the 3rd run, I don't know, there was actually a bit more wipe for some reason than there was. So the 2nd run, as you're seeing right now, is probably my best run, and I wanted to show you this anyway. It was actually the fastest time that we actually did on this dungeon. But the 3rd time, as I was saying, the 3rd time that we actually ran this dungeon, the weapon skin actually dropped, and I was able to get that from there. It wasn't that nice weapon skin. I don't know. There's like this. It almost looks like, I don't know if you saw the anger weapon. Well, most of you probably haven't seen the anger weapon. But it's like a black and gold skin for your weapon. It's got like spikes all over it, and that's pretty much what it looks like. It wasn't that other one that I'm seeing all over, like you know, forums and all that. That drops from all 4 big 4 dungeons. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a shiny, super shiny, glowy-ish, I guess. Mystical, whatever skin. It's so hard to explain. It just looks so badass, honestly, and I actually do want that skin. But you know, we'll see what happens. Some people say that they've been actually finding it on the Lin Spirit Ruins more, which I believe in the NA it's called the Brightstone Ruins or Bridgestone Ruins or something like that. So yeah, but either way, as you can see right here, coming over to the Spider's Queen herself. Got a little bit of those heart rate charges. I was just waiting for everyone to be ready. I was actually a little bit hesitant. I didn't know they were actually waiting for me to make the first move, so I actually waited till the Summoner's Cat made the first move before I got the choke move on that big bastard over there. So yeah, so as you can see right here, messed up on the first few stun moves, got my backstep going, and we're gonna go ahead and use my Annihilate and pick this big bitch up and do a little bit of a ground pound right there. The reason why I like to do the ground pound while standing up is just because that whenever you stand and you have anything in that area of effect, pretty much they take damage. Even if they have you have them in the grapple hold, you still want to go ahead and they're still going to go ahead and get some damage off of it. So that's nice. Another reason is that I like to stand in the right in the middle of the AoE, or just like in the middle, or just like inside of the ground pound effect, is that the skill tree that I have for it actually gives me a 200% defense buff. So that's actually really nice and really handy when you're dealing with a lot of AoE. Get that ground pound going on, and especially when you're gonna like what I do is I combo it with my Rage or my Fury, and with the Fury that activates, I actually lose 100% defense, but by standing in the ground pound I actually gain a 200% defense buff. So basically I get back my extra 100 that I lost from Rage for that 5 seconds, and I gain an additional 100 defense as well. But anyway, here we go. Still going on with the choke move, getting my stuns off of this the Spider's Queen, which is very awesome. Getting the back step right there, very nice right there, super good dodge. And once again, just going ahead and using the Cyclone whenever I can, because that does give me a 400% buff, as well as the 25% incoming damage mitigation through anything. So yeah. Overall, this boss, I gotta say, is actually not that bad. Not that bad at all. Once you learn the mechanics, well, technically, once you learn the mechanics for any boss, it should be okay. But this is the second time I'm actually fighting this boss on the NA server, and I'm not gonna lie, it's actually, the boss isn't really that hard. As you can see over here, I was actually, technically, I guess you could say I wasn't being a good teammate. I actually ignored those eggs that the Spider Queen actually drops, and I do believe how the mechanics are. You have to break those eggs or something like that, for the Spider Queen to come back down. I think that's how it is. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I've done this dungeon, so I was pretty much running around, letting my teammates take care of all that. I was trying to help, I really was, but excuse me. At this point, like I said, this was part of the grind. You know, I was grinding my ass off this past weekend, so I was a little bit fatigued, a little bit tired. Just overall, just grinding for the past couple of days, I was a bit tired. So I was just waiting for the Spider Queen to come back down, And here she is back down here, about to do her ult, got the back step going on, so that was able to avoid that as well as, oh, actually missed that move. I thought I was actually going to stun her right there and pick her up, but I lost a lot of HP right there, but it's okay because we haven't actually used up any of our heart recharges. Got the choke move on her right there. Grapple move, I'm so sorry for... I always call it the choke move. I don't know, it's like a habit, force a habit. But as you can see right there, we took the hit right there and was able to use one of our heart recharges. At that point, I wasn't too worried. I really wasn't too worried at that point because if you've seen the health bar for the Spider's Queen, she was actually about 75% down on her HP, so she pretty much only had 25% left of her HP, so I wasn't too worried about that at all. Even if I fucked up on this life, I still had one more to spare anyway, so yeah. As you can see, just trying to help out my teammates right there, killing the baby spiders as well, and just waiting for the Spider's Queen to come back down. I think this is going to be the last rotation before she actually goes back up on the ceiling. As soon as she comes back down, we're going to finish her here, and I'm going to go ahead and try and execute the move right there. Oh, messed up the earthquake right there. That kind of sucks. And yeah. Oh, wow, that was actually pretty good. I actually got... Oh, but I messed up. Wow, I don't know if you saw that, but I actually was able to stun the Spider's Queen, but I had no chi left to pick her up, so she actually got back up, and it was a waste of a stun. That's something you gotta avoid, especially when you're a destroyer. You want to be able to use that choke move to your advantage, so go ahead and just try to have a little bit more chi, at least enough chi to pick her up. Not do what I did. I freaking stunned her, but I had nothing left to pick her up. No energy. Weak sauce. Anyway, I think we're gonna execute it one more time right here. Yes, we do, and this is where we go ahead and finish her off. So yeah, I use the Typhoon right here. Boom! There we go, taking her out. And yeah, well, anyways, guys, that's pretty much, we're coming to the end of the video right here. Hopefully you enjoyed that Spider's Queen Nest dungeon run thingamajig, whatever. Hopefully you enjoyed today's dungeon run video. Stay tuned for more Blade and Soul content to come your way. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. I do read all the comments. I love every single one of you easy members out there. Your support is what motivates me to continue on bringing you some beautiful 60 FPS Blade and Soul content and all that goodness. Remember to have yourselves a very easy day. Like I said, I love every single one of you easy members out there. As always, this has been the One Man Army, Mr. Easy for Life, and I'm out. Peace.